The simple answer, which is not very simple, I mean, which is easier said than done, let's say, is the more you know yourself in an embodied way, the more you actually know who you are, you don't experience yourself as vulnerable and delicate. But, there's a space between here and there that needs to be traversed. And so there's different, we could say, coping mechanisms or means of navigating that terrain. Once you know yourself, then there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to protect because you're infinite and you're harmless, unharmable. Um, but this kind of emergence, sometimes it does require external means of protection, creating space where you can explore that space and it's safe. Creating space where there won't be an interference, or you won't have energies from outside coming in and making you contract, or kind of leading to the experience of contraction. There may be certain relationships where you don't feel like, you feel like right now, I have to be in a role in this relationship. That's just how it is, because I don't feel like I can bring myself. That doesn't mean I will always have to, but it's an honoring of where I am right now. Right now, I'm in a space, I'm at a point in my evolution where in this particular relationship, I'm going to be in a role. And I can look for the edge, I can feel for the edge, but I'm really, that's where I am right now. And then you just kind of watch yourself. And at a certain point, you may notice that you're able to go beyond that role, and offer something new in that relationship. And maybe it's, you offer something new and it's rejected, and you curl back up again and you say, I'm not going to do that anymore. And that's okay too. And so just allowing yourself space and kind of trusting your intuition, and being gentle with yourself around all that stuff, not feeling like I should be, I really should be over there. You think about yourself like a toddler that's not yet toddling. When a baby starts to walk and it falls down, you don't scold it. It's like you celebrate that it walked. So it's, again, focusing on, like what Heather was saying before, focusing on the positive, focusing on all that you are accomplishing, um, and what is possible, and not worrying about where the limitation is there, and that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sensitivity is a tough one, because if you think about experiencing oneness, there's an ultimate sensitivity. I mean, sensitivity means being aware in a sensorial way of the other. So oneness means there is no other. So sensitivity is like the gray area between that. And um, it is a part of the purification process. It's a part of the process of awakening to become more sensitive. And it's not linear. It's not like if you aren't more sensitive, then you should be, or something like that. But it's a natural, organic part of it that comes and goes. And it's important to be aware of what your needs are in the process as you become more sensitive. And it's not just sensitive intellectually. You may be more sensitive where you can tell what somebody's thinking. You may be more sensitive where you can tell, you feel feelings from another person. But it's also in the nervous system, and the nervous system can get overstimulated or agitated or kind of ragged as a result of being in situations where there's a lot of energy being exchanged. And different kinds of energy can influence us, impact our nervous system in different ways. So sometimes, for me, sometimes I need to sleep. Sometimes I need to take a shower. Sometimes I need to take a bath. Sometimes I need to go for a hike in the woods and be alone. Sometimes I need to sing. I change my clothes, lie on the earth. These are all things that I do to kind of just stabilize and neutralize my energy field. Um, Mostly it's time that's needed, but all of these things, water, earth, singing, meditation, sleep, uh, and changing my clothes. Sometimes, I mean, that's the thing about coming back from India, it's like I don't have that many clothes, it's hot there. And I come back here and it's hot today, but like before last week, I'm like, how do you manage all these clothes? Because I have to change my clothes sometimes like 3 times in a day. And I'm like, that giant pile, like, what do I do with that? Anyway, it's like, in a way, what I'm saying is it's kind of weird, but I'm not really bothered by it. It's annoying, but that's just how it is for me.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm getting weirder. Like as I'm evolving, I feel like I'm getting weirder, but I'm okay with it.
Remember how we're weird and we're getting weirder?
Yeah. Like Corinne wanted to have a T-shirt for when it was Yoga Center Amherst, when it said we're weird and we're getting weirder. Um, so I'll just, well, maybe we did a little bit, you guys do a lot of asana in this training and a lot of pranayama. So, you have that experience of sadhana that is somatic, sadhana that's related to the body. Did some meditation, and you've done some meditation other times. So there's the mantra and japa, the sadhana that's working on the mind, working on focus, working on concentration. The sadhanas of the heart, thinking about God, praying, singing, reading stories about. I'm one of the saints that we encountered. He's no longer alive, but I wasn't very aware of him. It's a person named Yogi Ram Surat Kumar. There's an ashram in Tiruvannamalai, close to Ramana Maharshi's ashram, that's dedicated to him. And I've been reading about his life, or more about a disciple. One of his devotees wrote about her experiences with him. And he was an amazing being who just was in love with God, and would, love people who came to him, offer them shelter and blessing. And ironically, one of the things he did was smoke cigarettes as a part of helping him, supposedly helping his body deal with the energetic reality of the blessings that he was giving, the energy he was transforming in people. But I went to this ashram just a few weeks ago when I went back to Tiruvannamalai on my own, and there's a big shrine to him, and people sing in this room, this big room, all day. People sing Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya, over and over and over. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jai Guru Raya. It's this huge hall, and there's always people in there, and 24 hours a day they're singing. Well, I guess apparently people go to sleep. But that said, there are places in India, there are rooms where people sing God's name 24 hours a day, all day and all night. Somebody's singing in this place, So that kind of devotion, that's also a sadhana. And each of us is kind of drawn in our own ways to different beings. But I encourage you to open yourself in that way. Open your heart to the divine and ask to be shown where's the place for you to connect in devotion, in love, in bhakti. Because the purification of the mind. You can kind of imagine there's all these metaphors in the yoga tradition, like the mind being like a still lake, right? Where all the sediment is settled at the bottom and the pond or the water body is totally still and clear, and the mind being like that. The emotions are like that too. They can be turbulent, they can be drawing us in all kinds of different directions. And then there's just the pure, clear, devotional love for anything, for another person, for a tree, for the heart at the center of the cosmos, for the earth, for ourselves. Cultivating that state of love and reverence and honoring helps us to navigate through the difficulties of being on a spiritual path, the challenges that come up, because emotions get aroused, and things are frustrating and disappointing, and people are complicated, and it's easy to have, if you're on a spiritual path, you're going to be dealing with emotions. So working, sadhana that supports the deepening of evolutionary emotions that draw us towards ourself, evolutionary emotions, we could say, emotions that resonate with the truth of things, is an important aspect of a sadhana practice. And after we talk about sadhana, after next week, the next thing we're going to talk about is bhakti, jnana, and karma yoga, the paths of yoga as described in the Bhagavad Gita. And they're talked about as separate things, but they're all part of one collective experience. Devotion, the emotional awakening, mental awakening, and the awakening of the body and the actions and the doing of life. It's all, we're all in all of those all the time. So I encourage you to find your way with that, and try something in the next few days between now and Saturday. Prayer, or a puja can be like going outside and taking a leaf and laying it at the foot of the tree from which it came. It doesn't have to be a ritual to a particular deity in a particular form. It's just something about reverence and worshiping and honoring. So I invite you over the next few days to try something and find some practice that invites bhakti, devotion, love, care. And I think we'll close there with that invitation. Thanks for hanging out, spending this time together. And I look forward to seeing you all on Saturday.
In person.
And right, in person for those who can be in person. And yeah, that's all. And I always ask when I remember to, that all the benefit of our satsang, and also the benefit of our sadhana. We do sadhana for a purpose, for the purpose of our own awakening, but may the benefit of our sadhana be not just for us. May it ripple out and touch the hearts and the lives of those around us, our friends, our neutral people, our enemies, and the people that frustrate us and cause us heartache. May the fruits and the benefits of our sadhana, which are natural, sadhana naturally has fruits and benefits, may they all ripple out and support those around us, in bodies, those around us who are not in bodies, and all beings who are all on the path of awakening. May all be blessed. Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Namaha. I bow to the Infinite One that lives inside the hearts of all beings. See you next time. Good night.